everybody. So this is really exciting. We were going to be doing a live hangout, live YouTube stream, but it's not working. So we are recording this using some other software, and but we are doing our monthly or regularly segment called His Picks, Her Picks, and we are talking about quirky romances today. And my friend Richard is here to join me and to talk about two films. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey. Hi, I'm Richard. Hello, everybody.
Hi, and we've done this our third time doing this
Yeah.
series, and it's a lot of fun. The point of the series is that Richard picks a movie that we pick a topic, a genre, a topic, and he picks a film I haven't seen, and then I watch it, and then I pick one he hasn't seen, and then we talk about it. So it's a lot of fun. And so we thought for Valentine's Day, we've already done romantic comedies on this series, and so but I thought it would be fun to do romances, but this time to do sort of more quirky, weird, alternative, indie, whatever you want to call it, romances. And so that's what we're going to do today, and we're going to talk about the movies Amelie and 500 Days of Summer. So that should be a lot of fun. And so let's start, how about with 500 Days of Summer.
Okay.
We'll do Amelie. So this was released in 2009, and that seems crazy to me because it seems like a very current new release to me. I can't believe it's been that long. But anyway, it was directed by Mark Webb, and he and it has Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zooey Deschanel in the leads.
Katy Perry's twin sister.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I really loved this movie when I saw it, and I personally think it has held up very well. Like it's I kind of wondered if it would, because it kind of takes some risks, and it has some sort of hipster qualities to it. So I wondered if it would, but to me at least, it's still very charming, and I really liked rewatching it. I think it takes some creative risks in the storytelling and in the ending and some of the other things that I really like, and I think still make it unique and really effective. And it basically tells the story of this young man who works for a greeting card company, and his name's Tom. And they tell you at the very beginning of the movie that this is not a love story. They introduce you to his character and then also to the girl named Summer. And these are like diametrically opposed people. These are people that really should not be in a relationship. Summer is kind of cynical. She's kind of a little bit of a flake, but also very spontaneous, very fun. Whereas Tom is all about commitment and love and a romantic and everything, and they're just very, very different. But they meet at work, and he's very smitten with her, and he's kind of convinced, I think, that he can change her, and that he can kind of make her fall in love with him. And anyway, but their relationship starts, and it does get pretty intense fairly quickly, but then if it kind of fizzles out, and then she decides to and they have sort of all these quirky adventures or whatever along the way, and then she decides to break up with him, and he's totally devastated and shocked. And this whole time it's being done by nonlinear storytelling. So you get like day 5, then day 50, day 500, all that all kind of mixed together. But he's devastated, and eventually they end up meeting again, going to a wedding of a friend. And this hasn't been that long, because it's obviously only 500 days. the movie taking place over, and they start talking, and he thinks that there's somehow a renewed spark or renewed interest, but she thinks that she's just being nice. She doesn't understand his way of thinking at all. And anyway, she invites him to a party, and it turns out it's actually her engagement party. And so he's devastated about that, very disappointed. But at the end, they end up kind of meeting and kind of having this sort of moment where they realize that she did learn something about like believing in love from him, and he kind of learned something from her, and that it sort of has a bittersweet ending. And then we see him at the end get a date with a girl named Autumn. So that's kind of funny thing. And and so that's how it ends. And what do you think of the movie overall?
Right. Well, I actually liked it a bit more than I was expecting, really. I mean, I did start watching it like a few years ago. I can't remember exactly when, but I think I watched the first 10, 15 minutes. It was on TV, and I just decided it wasn't really working, and I didn't watch the rest of it. And I did appreciate it a lot more this time around. I appreciate the whole not a love story thing. I thought it was a very interesting character-driven story. And I really enjoyed the non-linear storytelling and how that all worked together, how it all linked. And,
oh, good! I'm glad.
It was an unconventional thing as well, and it was you can kind of understand the feelings of the characters. Mm-hmm. That was well done.
That's the great thing about I think about something like this is hopefully it kind of forces you out of your comfort zone. Maybe watch something that you maybe discounted or didn't watch, and it kind of that's why I like doing stuff like this. But yeah, that's great. I'm glad. So my first question is, actually I'm going to do, so this movie, like you said, does do a nonlinear storytelling, jumping around to different days, as opposed to starting at the beginning of their relationship and the end of their relationship. And so you like that?
Yeah, I did like it. Yeah, it was it was a little bit like Memento, not quite in the same way either, but like even though it's not going in like a chronological order, everything is still linked, and the information is being revealed to the audience at the right time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have you seen Memento?
I actually, believe it or not, I have not, but I need to.
It's very good. Yeah.
I want to. I just one of those ones. It came out when I was still not seeing any R-rated movies, and then I just never gotten around to seeing it. But I want to. But yeah, I know what you're saying, and it could be something that would be very distracting. Like at Sundance, I saw a movie called The Yellow Birds, which is about war, and it's about these soldiers, and they do nonlinear storytelling there, and it really didn't work at all, in my opinion. It really hurt the movie because you're getting things about their post-traumatic things, you're getting things about before the war, you're getting things about during the war, all mixed together. And so it just hurt any kind of tension or momentum, or I don't know, it really didn't work at all, in my opinion. But in this case, I think maybe just because it's a love story, it's not, you don't need that tension in the same way that you would need for a war movie.
Well, no, in a war movie you got this like constant action, and presumably ideas of what the climax would be. Mm-hmm. It's
kind of like seeing it from, you kind of see it from all these different perspectives. You know, like if it was just from the beginning to the end, I think it would just be from these two people's perspective, but somehow the way they do it, you get like the perspective of his friend, the perspective of his sister, the perspective, it just kind of, I don't know, I think it makes it, his boss, all this stuff, it makes it a little bit more, it's just less predictable, I guess.
Yeah, it gives a kind of a different appreciation of how the relationship progresses, and kind of understanding of their different thought patterns, really. And like when you see them like in the furniture store on different days. I think the first time you see them there, it's like at a later stage of the relationship, and he's trying this little role play, and she's just not into it. And then you've cut to before that, when they were first playing around with all the beds and the sinks and stuff, and that gives you their appreciation of it. And it is quite sad seeing the contrast in their relationship in quick succession like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you really do kind of float back and forth in between the different spots. It's almost like putting together a puzzle in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, so the movie starts out telling you this is not a love story, and having this narration. Do you think that worked? Did you like that? Them sort of tipping their hat from the very beginning of what this was going to be. Did you like that?
I did. I mean, like I said, the first time when I was watching it, I wasn't quite sure about that, because when they were saying like this is a boy meets girl story, but it's not a love story, I thought it was going to be quite a depressing film. But but I do appreciate it more with with how it works as like a study of these characters, and I like kind of narration like that. It's kind of brutally honest narration. And he's describing these weird things like Tom's misunderstanding of The Graduate. I like that kind of humor.
Yeah, and I think I would be more annoyed by it if I really didn't genuinely think these two people shouldn't be together. Like it's like I agree, like they probably needed to have this experience, but I'm glad in the end. I guess.
Yeah. I think it's it's a bit of a shame that the relationship doesn't work out, but they're probably not. But they aren't really right for each other in the end.
Yeah, they really aren't. Yeah. Okay, so the movie tries a lot of creative touches. We've got the narration where we talked about that. There's a point where it turns into a sketch, which I love. I thought that was so pretty. There's a point where there's a musical number and a dance sequence, and then there's a little animated bird. There's I love the sequence with where you have real life and then expectations.
Yeah.
On Split. I just think that's so brilliant, and a lot of things like that. Did any of those stand out to you, or work for you, or that you liked or didn't like, or? Yeah.
Definitely that little fantasy sequence that inspired Audrey. I think after they slept together for the first time, when Amy's and he kind of gradually seeing it's all a fantasy, which just as it gets more and more over the top, and he looks at his reflection in the car and he's Harrison Ford. I thought that was very funny. Yeah, and the expectations versus reality, that was obviously that wasn't funny. That was quite bittersweet, and but that worked really well. And I think there was also this point where he's after they've broken up and he's in this miserable phase where he's watching this silent film and seeing himself as the lonely man in there. Yeah, he's actually quite similar to Amelie. But I did like that. I did like those creative directions they went in, as well as how the narration works. I mean, there wasn't that much narration in the end, but I did like the style of that.
Yeah, they're really. It's just pretty much the beginning and the end, I think.
Yeah. There's little interspersions throughout, just little ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing I like so much about that reality versus expectations is I just can think of so many times in my life that has happened to me. That
exactly.
Yeah, like it's a silly example, but it makes me think of this one time I was roommates with my sister. This was years ago, of course, and she had asked me to go to Costco to go shopping to the warehouse store. So I go, and it's like so hard at those stores to like not spend a lot of money because everything's like these big, stuff anyway. And so I go to this store and I ended up spending like $200, but we got like a lot of food. But I was feeling so guilty because I thought she was going to like ream me out about it. And so like the whole time I'm like preparing in my head what I'm going to say when she says this, and then I'm going to say this, and then she's going to say this. And I had it all sort of prepared when she came home. And then it was just so funny because she comes home and I was like, here, this is how much I spent. This is what I bought. We're good for like the next month or whatever. And she was like, okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was such a good example of like how we have we build up these expectations and then reality is totally different.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Often a bit more dull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really related to that scene very much. But yeah, and I think the musical scene is kind of fun. I guess I'm a huge musical fan, so it's just, I don't know, it just sort of adds to the unpredictable nature of the movie.
Yeah. It reminded me a little bit of in I think it was season 2 of Friends, after Ross has slept with his current girlfriend for the first time. Like after that, he's like walking down the street and Singing in the Rain is playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good comparison. Yeah. So okay, so let's see here. So what did you think of their relationship and character development of both? And is Summer a jerk in your mind?
It's a little bit easy to see Summer as a jerk, I guess, because it's that's kind of the first impression we get of it in the breakup scene, where she just tells him, I think we should break up, and it's just like carrying on this conversation and eating the meal just quite normally. You just think that's not really the right thing to do. And then she does a few more like just jerky moments throughout the film, like not telling her about her engagement, and when they meet on the train, and she's just kind of acting like nothing happened between them. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, you do kind of understand her thought pattern, and
I think the engagement thing is pretty selfish. I think the fact that she would, just because she's like, well, I wanted to, and that's I mean, she's definitely a very, very selfish person in the sense of not thinking of others very much. She's all about living in the present and living for herself. Yeah.
And just being happy.
I mean, there is. I think the movie, I guess her redemption scene in the movie is ironically, I think the ending moment where they're on that park bench is just lovely, but also that scene where he goes on the date and the girl's like, so wait a minute here. She told you from the beginning that she was not interested in a relationship.
Yeah.
She's the bad one here.
Yeah. This kind of expectations versus reality again.
Yeah.
He was expecting that he was going to win her over.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she. I'm not sure. I mean, he was saying like she kind of learned about the idea that love does exist from him, but I'm not quite sure. Or it seemed like she just kind of figured it out on her own when she met this other guy that we don't really know anything about, and then just kind of compared it to her own feelings for Tom, because she said about he makes me feel like how I was never sure I felt about you.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I wonder, because I always figured that she sort of knew what to look for because she saw how he loved, and that kind of, and that she saw somebody. She saw somebody who believed in love, kind of again. But you make a good point that she does say that. That's true. And yeah.
And I think Tom is he's definitely the protagonist of the film. It's from his perspective, and we learn more about him. We view Summer from his perspective, and I like the journey that he goes on as well, because he starts off with the narration tells us that he believed he would never really be happy until he found the one, and you can't see with the things he's doing, like he's working this kind of menial job in this greeting card company when he trained to be an architect, and it's like he's kind of he's so settled in being unhappy that he's not trying to get out of it until he's in this very specific set of circumstances. He thinks he needs to have done something in particular, finding the person he wants to be with before he can start going on with his life and trying to be properly happy.
That is such a good point. And that's something you see all the time. Like whether it's, my friends who think that they won't be 100% truly happy, and even I do it on occasion, but until they get married, or my single friends, or my friends who think that until their kids are in school, that then they'll finally be. That's such a easy thing to kind of pin your happiness on something different in your life and not be happy with what your life is. That's very true. And
you just kind of think you got loads of time ahead of you.
Yeah, very good point. And I think it is kind of refreshing in a way to see this kind of character in a man in a film as opposed to a woman. I think you tend to see a lot more movies about women who are looking for the one and who are really who are really the romantic, and it's usually the man who's the one who's sort of the commitment shy person, and I mean, I feel like he's sort of similar. Did you ever watch How I Met Your Mother at all?
I've watched some episodes of it.
Yeah, sort of like Ted Mosby.
Having completely.
The lead in, I feel like he's similar to Ted Mosby.
Oh yeah.
On that show a little bit.
Yeah, that is a good point. Would say that.
Kind of similar, and Robin's kind of similar to.
You're right. It is kind of a cliche of romantic comedies that the man is more the cynical one, and it's the woman who's looking for the proper relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and I do appreciate also that there's not like the sort of the trope of the she's engaged to some jerk, or he's with, how a lot of times these romantic comedies have that, where they're with some horrible person, but then there's really the nice person that clearly they should be with. I kind of like that too. So
I don't really know anything about her husband, though, do we?
No, we don't. That's true.
No, it's kind of like what you were saying in your video about the ending of La La Land.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Okay, so just a couple more questions. So the side characters. Did you like the side characters? His friends, coworkers, boss, sister. Any of them stand out to you?
Yeah. Well, I think quite like that he was working for Agent Coulson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good. I liked it. It was very funny.
Yeah. So he was quite a nice character.
Yeah.
Before. I mean, he's talking about in that little interview sequence where he's talking about his wife, and he describes like she's the light that guides me home, and yes, it is from one of our greeting cards. I don't think he can really be judged for using something like that when he means it. But the friends, I wasn't so sure about, because it just seemed kind of like the basic friend characters. Mm-hmm. But you kind of see with they get the main male characters' buddies in romantic comedies.
Yeah,
but I really liked was his sister played by Chloe Moritz. Mm-hmm. Rachel. I did definitely like her. She was very much a voice of reason in most of her scenes. She's like being so much younger than Tom. She was definitely my favorite of the side characters.
Yeah, I really related to her because I feel like that's my role a lot of times with my friends, is to be like, "What are you doing? He's a loser," or whatever. I'm the one that sort of gives them the advice they don't want to hear sometimes when it comes to relationships. I remember a friend of mine was dating this guy that was a nice guy. She liked spending time with him, but he had proposed marriage to her, and she had just kind of accepted because she was like, well, I might not get proposed to again. I was like, do you love him? She was like, I'm old. I don't know if I'll get proposed. I'm like, you didn't answer the question. Like, I had to say, like, no, like you shouldn't get married just because somebody asked. Like, you should, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm explaining this to somebody. So I just feel like sometimes I put in that position of like, you should actually be in love with the person that you're going to get married. Like, that's such a standard.
Yes. That should be in a romantic comedy, really. That sounds like something to be out of place.
Yeah, maybe I should write that.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So, last, just two questions. Did you like the ending? Did you want to see them together, or did you like the fact that it was bittersweet? Yeah. It was.
Ultimately, I prefer the fact that it was bittersweet rather than that they do get together, because they weren't right for each other, and ultimately they did. I mean, Tom at least did learn from the experience. He went through this bad time with it, and then he came out the other side with a better understanding of himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he did quit his job. He did, and then was interviewing at the architecture firms.
Yeah. And I like how it's left a bit uncertain. We don't know actually whether he got the job or even where his relationship with Autumn is going to go. And,
yeah, I like that too.
I mean, I'm not sure quite what she meant. We said she was supposed to be meeting someone else, and then she changes her mind, decides to go out with him instead.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what that was about. I did like we have that note of hope at the end.
We're gonna get 500 Days of Autumn. Hopefully more than that.
If I usually call it autumn, because don't you call it fall over there?
Both. A lot of times fall, but autumn is acceptable. It's
because here we just call it autumn.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I would say fall. Yeah, I'd say fall is more common, but you do hear autumn. Okay, so last question is just, do you think that the soundtrack helped you get immersed in the film, or is it, did you like that?
I did like the soundtrack. I mean, I don't know most of the songs. I mean, the only one I'd heard before somewhere was the one in the fantasy dance sequence. That was probably the happiest song in the film, and I felt definitely the tone of the other songs. I kind of set the bittersweet nature of a lot of the scenes, like the expectations versus reality scene.
You're not a big fan of the British alt rock like the Smiths.
I don't really know. No, I don't really know who they are.
No, they're very depressing. You listen to it was very talented, but yeah.
Because that's the band they both like, isn't it, the Smiths?
Yeah, very.
Yeah, but no, I don't think I'd heard of them.
Well, oh really? Most of their songs are about death of some
All right.
So yeah, they're very, very downers, but they do have good songs. I mean, if you're in the mood, if you're feeling sorry for yourself, they're the best.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so that's the I guess that's all my questions for 500 Days of Summer. I really enjoy it. I just think it's something different, something refreshing, and it's kind of weird that the director ended up going on to make SpiderMan movies.
I know, yeah. I was quite surprised in the opening credits when he said the director was Mark Webb.
Yeah.
Who made the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was funny.
I mean, to be fair, I thought the romance in those wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I like
Best part of it, actually, in my opinion.
I like how the interactions between Peter and Gwen, they felt quite natural. That was handled quite well.
True. Yeah. Very, very true. All right, well, let's talk about Amelie.
Yes.
If you want to introduce it.
Okay, so I've written a summary here. So Amelie is a French film about Amelie Poulain, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, an introverted woman who grew up with unaffectionate parents and no friends. On the day that Princess Diana dies, Amelie finds a hidden box in her apartment and returns it to its original owner. After seeing how touched he is, she starts anonymously helping everybody she knows with their problems. Amelie also encounters a man named Nino who likes to collect discarded passport photos. She is romantically interested and leaves messages for him, but is too shy and scared to seriously try anything. Eventually, Amelie gets over her fears, and she and Nino get together.
It's a good summary.
It's a bit of a shorter summary than the 500 Days of Summer one, because there's not quite so much story in this one, is there?
No, there's not a lot of story. But there's a little side characters that have sort of their own stories.
Like little progressions. Yeah.
But Amelie, that's basically her story. Yeah.
Yeah, but basically my thoughts on this movie is it kind of feels like the definition of a feel-good movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not entirely happy, and there is quite a lot of there's quite a bit of dark comedy in it. Mm-hmm. But it certainly doesn't feel that it's never really depressing or anything like that. It is generally quite happy and light-hearted a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. And I found it was very charming, and I really loved the style approach as well. Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was very charming. I very much enjoyed it. I think if I was going to nitpick, it's one of those movies where I feel like they didn't need like I think it would have been maybe even better with a PG-13 rating. I think the few little moments that are a little more garish aren't really needed. I don't think they add to the charm of the film. But it's a small critique. I really did enjoy it, and a great lead performance, and great production design. Very very good cast, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think lead actress Audrey Tattoo. I think the only thing I saw her in was the Da Vinci Code. I'm not sure she's been in anything else outside France. That's the only French film I'm really familiar with.
I don't think I've seen her in anything else that I can think of. Let's see if there's. Yeah, she was in the Da Vinci Code. I'm just seeing here. No, I don't really see anything on her thing. I think she could be like an interesting, if they wanted. She's so pretty, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That she could be like even an interesting sort of, they wanted to do a more unusual looking Bond girl. Sounds strange, but
the last one I had, Lee Seydoux, is she French? I'm not sure.
Sounds French.
Yeah.
It's either French or French Canadian.
They did have I think they had a French. They did have a French Bond girl, Sophie. I can't remember her name, but she was the princess in Braveheart. I think she was in The World Is Not Enough. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, she's great in the lead. I really liked her a lot. I mean, she's beautiful. She's quirky. She's endearing. You really, you just like her from the minute you see her.
Oh, intensely likable, yeah.
Definitely. It's anyway. So you want to start with your questions?
Okay, so the first question was, what do you think of the film's structure? Does it work despite having a limited amount of story?
Yeah, I liked the structure. I think it's not as. I don't think it tries quite as much as 500 Days of Summer, but I don't think it needed to. I think it worked for the kind of story that it was telling, and I really liked it. I liked the kind of the narration and the moments of, I don't know, weird humor, like with her I don't know, like the way her mom dies, like that. Yeah. It's really sad, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying about dark comedy.
Yeah. Stuff like that is good, and yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah. I suppose ultimately the main conflict in the film is the will they won't they between Amelie and Nino.
Yeah,
but it only takes up a certain amount of the running time. The rest of it is Amelie helping people.
Yeah,
and there are like little, and those others we get divided into their own little side plots.
I mean, I kind of wish that he had gotten introduced a little sooner, just so I was a little more invested in their relationship. But I liked seeing her with all of these people and seeing her interact, and I liked the way that. They never. It'd be easy in this kind of story and this kind of thing to make her kind of unlikable and kind of annoying, but that's not the case. Like I really liked her.
Like maybe being a bit too quirky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a good example where it didn't work, but there's lots of manic pixie dream girls that are very annoying.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, something like Me Before You or something like that, where this is all like perky and here to cheer up the world. It's like, oh, no, thank you. as an example. But yeah, no, I thought she was great. I mean, it seemed like a heightened version of reality, but like most of the stuff that she does for people isn't that like outlandish or anything. Like it's fairly realistic kind of stuff you could actually do for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the fantasy, they don't really relate to things she does, they just relate to kind of her thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think about being a heightened sense of reality? I think like even the colour scheme of the film kind of reflects that. It's kind of painted lit in a certain way. It seems a bit brighter than reality.
I like that. Even her makeup is a little bit sort of probably more heightened than you typically do. And it kind of reminded me a little bit of a Wes Anderson movie. His are very similar, I feel like, in feel to this. Whether it's Grand Budapest Hotel, or the Moonrise Kingdom, or something like that.
The treatment of characters in Moonrise Kingdom was a bit similar to this.
Yeah. I think so. And I think in both cases they're good about sort of keeping the humanity of the characters, not having them be sort of preachy or overly metaphorical, if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. And I liked the visual style of it a lot. I thought that you really got a feeling of sort of this unique version of Paris, and I liked it. It was good. Good lighting, good design.
Yeah.
It was very immersive.
So next question. You did briefly touch on this, but you answered before. Were you invested in the romance?
I could have been more, I think, but just because he is introduced kind of late. But yeah, I think I was, just because I was so invested in her by that point. But I do think I could have been a little bit more if they had maybe introduced him a little sooner. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I think basically the main reason I was invested in romance because I liked Amelie so much and I wanted her to be happy. Because you don't really know that much about Nino. Right. You know that he likes to collect passport photos and that maybe he's a little bit quirky as well. He works in a sex shop and on the ghost train. And but you don't really know that much about him. Really, I was just invested because I wanted to see what Amelie was going to do, and I wanted things to work out for her. It was a little bit like it's a little bit like with Harry and his original romance with Cho Chang in the Harry Potter books. You only know that much about Cho in like the Goblet of Fire stage, but I still wanted Harry to get together with her because I wanted Harry to be happy.
Right. Yeah, that's a good comparison. I think we talked about that they're actually debuting a musical on Broadway of this, and I think that's one that they can actually maybe flesh out. One part of it that they could flesh out a little bit more is the Nino and Amelie romance.
There'll be a chance. It says I got the Wikipedia page here. It says it premiered in the Berkeley Repertory Theatre in Berkeley, California in September 2015. Yeah, so what is it? Yeah, doesn't say. So would that not be in French? Do you think if it's being played in America?
Oh, I think it'll be in English. I would think.
Yeah.
Unless they had like they do at the opera, they have it's like a little. It looks like a scorecard at a sports game, and it just has the dialogue. You could, I guess, do that. That would be pretty groundbreaking. I don't think they've ever done that on Broadway, but it would be a big risk. But that would be kind of cool. I do think. I mean, I love foreign films, but I do think if there's anything that maybe kept me from noticing on the first watch some of the creative touches, is because I was really focused on, sort of watching the words that I probably missed a few things that if I was French, I would have noticed, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see what it's like just listening to the narration if you understand French, because it kind of goes along quite quickly in this like one note voice. And I kind of wonder if, like, if you were listening to just the French, it would still have like the same humorous touch, because like reading the words, you can't understand the kind of quirkiness in the narration and the jokes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like if you're just listening to the French.
Yeah, I think you probably lose a little bit. I would imagine, at least. You'd lose a little bit. But yeah, I think they could have developed Nino's character just a little bit more. Maybe had like one scene where we get to know him a little bit, where they have a conversation, or they show him having a conversation, or I don't know. I think that would have helped a little bit.
Yeah, like even when we first meet him, and there's a little flashback to when he was being bullied at school. I think that's less than we get with the guy she gives the box of things to.
Yeah,
we see more of his memories, even though he's only in that one scene and then briefly again at the end.
Mm-hmm. It's true. I did like how they showed memories, the various memories, though. That was very effective. It really felt like a dream. It felt like it felt like that this is probably not 100% what really happened. This is what they remember what happened. It just had that kind of a feel to it that I thought was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
Right. So the next question: what did you think of Amelie as a character?
I thought she was great. I loved her. I thought she was very I don't know. I thought she was very sweet, and trying to very simple-minded in a way. She just kind of I don't know. She's not somebody who's like sitting there thinking about like the deep implications of everything that she's doing. She just sees something, somebody who's sad. She wants to make them happy. She sees, oh, this made this person happy. I'm going to do it again to make more people happy.
Yeah, I kind of like how she's like, we see her childhood, and she's it's not the happiest childhood. Her mother dies, and her father isn't very affectionate towards her. She doesn't really have any friends because she's homeschooled, because there's all misunderstanding about her heart. And yet when she's grown up, she's not an unhappy person. It says she finds refuge in solitude. Yeah. And she's still very...
She kind of reminded me of what I think a grown-up Matilda would be like, from the Roald Dahl.
Yeah, maybe.
A little bit. I don't know.
That's funny. There's actually a musical of Matilda as well.
Yeah. I don't know, just sort of quirky and but confident in her own way, and loving in her own way, and I liked that. It was good.
Yeah, it's got the way she helps people. It's always in an anonymous way. She's working in secret and being hidden, and that's why they use the Zorro imagery a couple of times. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. It's a little bit frustrating when she's she's kind of almost like playing games with Nino, and when he's acting like he wants to get in touch with her, she's really not sure about it. She kind of loses her nerve a bit. I guess it's because she's got such limited experience of interaction with people.
Yeah, that's true.
She's just kind of a little bit scared of reality.
Yeah, I liked her relationship between her and her father, though. I felt like that there was, I don't know, I felt like she was still very loving towards him, and I really liked the gnome.
Yeah, that was good.
That was so sweet.
Yeah, when she gives it to the airline hostess, and when he gives it, she says, "Everybody calls me Snow White."
And just like getting him to break free, getting him to was really sweet.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the point of a lot of the different side characters. I was going to ask questions about it anyway, but I feel like the side characters, a lot of them are just kind of like stuck in a rut. And Amelie ends up helping them progress.
Yeah, like I really did like I'm trying to think her name. The one who is the that she plays the matchmaker for.
Georgette, the
Georgette. Okay.
hypochondriac.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was really good. I really liked her.
yeah,
All the characters at the cafe were really fun.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
like how she sort of tricked the lady selling the newspapers too. That was funny.
yeah, yeah. It's a little bit Beatrice and Benedict from Much Ado About Nothing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
comparison.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exactly like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, on the side characters, because that was my next question anyway. I was going to say it's like they all seem to have these particular quirks, don't they?
Mhm.
Like they kind of they're kind of elevated. They kind of makes them most recognizable. Like you got the guy in the cafe who's always recording what his ex girlfriend is doing. You got the hypochondriac. You got the writer who talks about his rejections. And you got the glass man with the brittle skeleton who just stays indoors all the time.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
can't, yeah, I mean, maybe they're not especially developed, but it's they're all very set apart.
Yeah, but it kind of works for the world. Like if you're going to have a lead character as quirky as Amelie, you kind
Hmm.
of need. It's kind of similar to Wes Anderson again. You kind of need like it would be weird in say the Grand Budapest Hotel to have like a completely normal person. You know, like it would just it would feel weird.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
you just
yeah.
kind of
Normal people don't quite fit into this universe, do they?
right, yeah. It would feel like to use a Harry Potter term, it'd feel like a muggle
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
in the
yeah.
middle of there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the point of like the Frank Grimes episode of The Simpsons, wasn't it? It's kind of show like a
yes,
normal person couldn't survive in the Simpsons universe.
yeah, that's very good. Yes, exactly. That's right. That when I would just it would feel it just wouldn't work with this kind of storytelling. It wouldn't work at
Hmm.
all.
Yeah.
You need
Okay.
you
Yeah.
need each person to have kind of an obvious sort of quirk
Hmm.
for.
Yeah. So, so I'll move on to the next question. Then the film tries. I was using one of yours for 500 Days of Summer. The film tries a lot of different creative touches. What in particular worked for you?
I like I said the dream sequences I think I liked the most. I liked I don't know I just thought they were were interesting in the way that they were filmed and like I said I was kind of focused probably on the words so I probably missed some creative touches but yeah that I think that some of the way they used like a sort of a fisheye look and things looked kind of distorted at times
Yeah.
and like we were talking about with the lighting and the colors and there's stuff that all worked I think very well.
Hmm. Yeah. I think one bit I especially liked was when she's put together the letter for the landlady from all her husband's letters. And when she's reading it, you can when she goes through all the different sentences, you can hear the sound effects in the background keep changing.
Oh, I
Just
didn't
like
notice that.
a whole bunch of yeah, well, just when she reads like the finished letter that Amelie's made, the sound effects in the background and of everything he's saying keep changing to show that it's actually a whole bunch of letters that were put together.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hey, another way she's waiting for Nina to come to the cafe and she's imagining all this weird stuff that's happened to her, like he was captured by bank robbers and then is living as a hermit now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of her fantasies were really good. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And okay. Yeah. And that's like it's not like constant fantasizing.
No.
So when it happens, it is quite a like when when the little animals in her apartment start moving, or when like Nina has left the cafe and she suddenly like melts into water, how she's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so much that it becomes annoying.
No.
It's definitely good. Even there's some Wes Anderson movies that get pretty close for me to being a little annoying and being a little too much. Yeah, not this at all. Like it wasn't like it was all pretty subtle as far as a lot of those touches.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I'm trying to remember anything else that sort of stood out to me about But just the story was very unusual. Just the way that, I don't know, it's just the way it involved all these different characters and kind of what she was doing, and I don't know, it just was different, something different.
Yeah. So so I was also asked, did you think the comedy worked? Did you think the film was funny?
Except for those, I would say those like R-rated moments, I didn't think that they were funny, and I didn't think they were really needed. And I just like for instance the orgasm joke, I didn't think was funny, and I didn't think was needed. I don't know. It just frustrates me when I want to because I have a lot of friends who won't see any R-rated movies, and it frustrates me, I guess, when a movie I feel like doesn't need it, and yet they add it in for I don't know why. And I feel like in this case, this is definitely an example of that it just wasn't funny and it wasn't needed. And so it would have been, I think, much better had it been a little bit gentler and hadn't had those moments, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, what about that scene in
the sex shop? I don't think those jokes were really that funny. Those I don't think were really needed. Stuff like that, I could do without.
Like that bit in the cafe when they're having sex in the bathroom, and like there's just the vibrations and the screaming from the bathroom. Is that not your?
That was funny. I didn't mind that as much as like I said, the orgasm joke or the sex shop jokes. Those were a little bit more vulgar. I thought that was a little, oddly enough, I think a little more subtle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't mind those jokes so much.
I think you could have that scene with the vibrating and still do PG-13 because most of it was unseen.
Yeah.
And but anyway, I still really like the movie. That would be my only thing. Is just some of the jokes. I thought.
I did enjoy most of the jokes. And it still seems to work even though when it's in subtitles. Like when she's looking for the guy who owns the box, and she goes to the first person there, and she says she's handing out a petition to canonize Lady Di.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
Yeah, and like that scene when she's a child and she's getting revenge on a neighbor by listening to the football match that actually on the radio, and then pulling out his area where it looks like somebody's about to score. It did make me laugh. This film, it was.
Yeah, it had some funny parts. Was that the neighbor or was it her dad?
It was a neighbor.
It was the neighbor.
Like he told us when she was taking pictures of things that caused accidents, and she was getting a revenge on him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was funny. I did like that scene, and I liked some of the banter between all the people at the cafe. That was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I did think her pictures in the photo album were funny. That she leaves him. I liked that. So I did laugh. I don't know. Wasn't super into some of those R-rated jokes.
Okay, that's fair enough. So last question. What do you think the film says about life and viewing the world?
Interesting. I think that it. What do I think it says? I think it kind of says that you should look around for people for ways that you can help people, and then help them. I don't know. I think that's sort of the main. If there's a message,
yeah. I mean, there is also the message about Amelie kind of getting over her fears of about possibly being rejected by Nina, and they're going for this romance instead of like helping people in this quite anonymous, detached way. That's her way of connecting with the world, and eventually she kind of learns to be more direct. But I was also kind of struck by like the beginning and the end of the film where it's going through all these little like random details in the world and things that people like. Like it says, like sticking a hand into a basket of grain or cracking creme brulee. And I feel that sort of thing gives you a appreciation for like little things because we all have little things like that we appreciate or that we don't like.
That's a good point.
I really hate the sound of people slurping tea.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. That those small moments are what make kind of life a full life. There's
Yeah.
a really great movie called Mother with
Hmm.
Debbie Reynolds and Albert Brooks, and and she's like this Depression era woman who like it's pretty hilarious. Like she has this like giant block of like cheese in the freezer that she like
Right.
I don't know, and she has like she freezes her salad and she freezes everything, and she's just crazy about saving everything, and and like he tries to get her to, instead of just always like, there's value in being thrifty, of course, but she's not like enjoying the moment. She's not like
Yeah.
doing things that she's not buying the ice cream that actually will taste good. She's buying the one that's the cheapest, and she's not like living a full complete life. And so that's sort of what he tries to kind of get her to do, and to buy the jam that she wants to buy instead of the one that's the cheapest always, and anyway, and so it's a really good film, but I think there's some truth in that, like whether it's money or whatever it is, or embarrassment, or you don't think you have the time, or all this stuff, that sometimes we don't do the things in life, that really the little things that actually make us the most happy.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting example for me, because I'd love to swim, and I have a pool I could go to so close, but I don't go there near as much as I should, especially because it's something I love.
Yeah.
I don't, and I think that a lot of us are guilty of that.
It's hard to get preoccupied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
even
have.
if it's just like making a cup of tea because you like it, and but just taking a second to kind of relax and listen to one of your favorite songs, or
Yeah.
I don't know. We do
Yeah.
things like, say, I don't know, like watch some some lame show that doesn't really add anything to us,
Yeah.
but then we don't think we have the time to do things that we actually really love.
Yeah. It's just like get bogged down watching YouTube videos or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That is a good message in it. That's true. I guess I wouldn't have
Yeah.
thought of that, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just one of the things in the film I like the most, that use of little details.
yeah, and looking for little ways to serve other people, I think, is really good too. That we don't have to be. I don't know. We don't have to be out there like protesting, or not that there's anything wrong with that, but we don't have to be doing some big bold thing. That we can be like giving someone a Valentine on Valentine's, or just something to serve other people, and thinking of what would make them happy as opposed to what will make us happy. And I think that's one thing that's great about Amelie, is she's the opposite of Summer in a way.
Yeah.
She thinks of other people almost to a fault.
Yeah.
And not
I definitely like her more than Summer.
Yeah. She's thinking about what will make other people happy.
Yeah.
If I had to pick, I'd pick that way of life.
Yeah. I actually look at the Wikipedia page for Amelie. It says there's a species of frog that's been named Cochranella Amelie. It says a scientist who named it said, "This new species of glass frog is for Amelie, the protagonist of the extraordinary movie The Fabulous." I think it's in French it's called like the Le Fabuleux Destin de Amélie Poulain, a film where little details play an important role in the achievement of joie de vivre, like the important role that glass frogs and all amphibians and reptiles play in the health of our planet. Yeah.
That's cool.
And I realised that's how I looked at the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, that is cool. That's a good point. That's cool. It's a cool thing to kind of take away. It makes you just want to try to. There's a really good speech by one of the leaders of my church where he talks about just like every day trying to make something beautiful, and to like participate in the like act of creation, and how that's like good for the soul. And I think that's really true. that like whether it be like making a meal that that tastes good, or you've created something out of nothing, and there's something about that that's really good and feels good. And because some of the things that Amelie did took a lot of work in planning and trying to find the owner of the binder, trying to find the who was living in her flat, all those kind of things. Like it took effort.
It does, yeah. It puts the effort in. Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think these are both really good films. I think there's something. I think both of these movies are good couple movies, because I think that they're both romantic, and they're both movies that I think should appeal, in my opinion, to both men and women.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, Amelie is definitely in my top 50 favorite movies, and I call them both unconventional for different reasons. Amelie is more about style, whereas 500 Days of Summer is unconventional because of the story it's telling.
The narrative.
The boy meets girl story, but not a love story.
Definitely. Well, cool. Well, thanks for joining me on this. This was a lot of fun. And
my pleasure.
We'll have to think about what we'll do next. But I will let everybody know on Twitter, I guess. And so where can people find you?
My Twitter is PNE Richard, and my blog is velociraptor256.wordpress.com.
Sweet. Awesome. And you can find me at Smiling LDS Girl on all social media. And so thanks so much, and I look forward to next month.
Yeah.